Hey guys, Gilbert here from Eurotuninggroup. I'm going to be showing you how to make your bucket assembly and make that compatible with the bucketless bracket that you receive, which already comes with the filter, the pump, and the crimpers here, the connectors. And you'll pretty much reuse your fuel level sensor, which gets attached to the back of this. And your top hat will slide on top, which we'll show how to assemble that later on. So for now, we have the top hat, which is going to come with two connectors up top. This one's actually missing as I sent it out to a customer. His got damaged. But anyway, you'll have two connectors here, which have hoses attached to them. You'll remove those. And this one over here ends up getting removed by pressing on the tab, and you'll see the connector slide out. A lot of people have issues with removing this connector underneath the top hat, and it ends up getting broken quite often if you do it wrong. The easiest way to do it, you have two pins there. Do not put anything in there. Don't put a flathead screwdriver or anything to pry those out, because you'll end up breaking the tab in there. So easiest thing to do is push the 90-degree fitting up. You have a tab here, so press on the tab and then that fitting will slide down. That way you don't end up with any broken tabs here, and it comes off in one piece. You'll be able to reuse this on the top hat once you assemble the bucketless kit together. Alright, so next thing will be removing the top hat from the bucket. You'll find your fuel level sensor connector here and your power wire that goes to the pump. So easiest way to remove these from the top hat, pry up on one of the edges with the flathead screwdriver, and there's a little tab inside here. You can hear it click, releases, and then pry that out. Same thing with the fuel level sensor. Pry on it a little bit, press on the tab. Sometimes you'll hear it click, sometimes you won't. Pop that back out, and now you have that. So you'll want to remove your fuel return lines, which simply unclip from there and like that. And you'll still have your fuel line, your fuel feed line actually connected to the pump, which comes off fairly easy. It's going to be a similar connector where it has a tab on it. You press on the tab and it'll release from the fitting of the pump itself. So that'll come off there. Next thing, you're going to want to remove your fuel level sensor now that you have it disconnected from the top hat. You push it towards the pump itself and then slide it out, and it comes off as one complete assembly, which you'll later reuse for your bucketless bracket. Next, you're going to want to cut the power wires that go to the stock pump about 2 inches away from the bucket itself. Just cut that right there. And this is where the connectors come into place, as you'll want to strip these wires about a little bit less than 1/4 of an inch, and then you'll want to crimp those onto the Walbro pump, red to red, black to brown. And that's going to simply connect in the top hat, which I'll show you guys in a bit how everything's going to be put back together. So you'll want to cut the string here like that. Now that sets your bucket free from the top hat, and this is going to end up sliding in here once you're done with the whole setup. So you get your stock connector, which I seem to have lost it, which is right here actually. You'll want to strip a little bit off, just enough so that you can crimp it onto the power and the ground wires. So I just crimp that on. Make sure the connectors are snug. You don't want them coming loose inside the tank once you put everything back together. Same thing with the ground wire here. Make sure they're snug. On the completed kits that you guys received, it'll have a hose with the fitting attached to it, which will then connect to your stock fuel feed line. Similar to how the stock pump has a fitting that connects to the fuel feed line. You will be supplied with 2 screws, which come with some washers and a little nut. Those are going to go attached like this. The screw goes through it. You're going to have one washer on this side, one on this side, and then your little nut that screws onto that side. So 2 in total. That's going to secure the fuel level sensor in place and not be moving around once it's inside the tank. So once that's on there, so for example, you have your fuel level sensor on already, you're going to be ready to drop it into the tank. So you'll drop this inside the tank first to make things easier. And once it's inside, you'll connect the feed line that comes off the Walbro pump into the connector here and make sure it clicks. Pull on it, make sure it doesn't come loose off of the fitting. You don't want that line coming off once it's inside the tank and you already have everything assembled together. And then you'll simply connect the power to the pump on this side, and then your fuel level sensor, which will be screwed onto the back of the bracket like that. And you're ready to drop everything back in. Put the lock ring on top of the top hat, and then again connect your power wires to the pump and the fuel level sensor. Make sure you hear them click, as so, and then don't forget to connect your other 2 lines on the top hat. And that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to PM me, give me a call. I'm always pretty much able to help you guys out any time of the day. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a great day.